In the following video, we will go over month-end closing process in Epicor ERP. So we'll start by looking at a quick PowerPoint presentation. We'll talk about a checklist of activities that our financial consultants will usually guide you through in your first month end to complete that successfully. You can keep this checklist as a verification process as you go through every month, going through your closing and especially at the year end as well. So we've broken it down in different areas or categories. You're certainly going to go over your manufacturing and inventory tasks related to production job completion and closing. We outlined the specific reports and areas in the system where you can look and verify for any active open transactions that need to be closed out and completed, as well as verification reports to make sure that all manufacturing variances are being captured correctly before we post them. So I won't go through every single bullet point, but we will certainly provide this to you. Along with that, we also do our inventory verification task list. Make sure that we can look at our open PO reports, verify that all shipment transactions have been completed correctly. We also run our capture cost of sales WIP process to commit those inventory transactions to the GL. And we also review other reports such as the non-conformance discovered material processing report or inspection pending for any pending items. We may also go through some balance inventory transactions or activities like verifying our stock status report, our work in process report to balance the WIP GL accounts, and also reconciling the DMR inventory GL accounts with our open DMR report, which relates to those open non-conformances that we may still be working on, and any open inspection items that are still pending. So as we're going through this checklist, I want to touch back onto our Epicor home screen. So I've added a section to mine called month-end closing, which basically summarizes all the different reports and processes that checklist is referencing. So you can quickly access your inventory WIP reconciliation report, your capture cost of sales WIP activity process. We also talked about verifying job completion and job closing exceptions. So those are there, as well as any other supporting documents and reports are here. So we have our open DMR reports, inspection pending, work in process, or stock status. So we want to make sure you have all those shortcuts available to you as you're going through your month-end processing. So if we continue to go back to our checklist, we also have some sales and accounts receivable specific tasks to perform. We need to make sure all credit memos have been posted, miscellaneous invoices, that there's nothing open on our groups out there. Verifying any write-offs or executing any write-offs that need to take place. So that's all kind of standard that you do on the accounts receivable side. We also look at balancing our revenue and cost of sales through different reports such as the sales analysis, the AR aging report, and any advanced billing deposit balance reports for customer deposits and any other unearned revenue. So just like that, we also have them in our home screen right here. We have our age receivables. We also have some chart versions of that embedded in our home screen, ship not invoice, advanced billing. So all of those are referenced here. The same would be applicable for the accounts payable side. We have our aged payables, received not invoice, advanced payment balances, which is what's coming up in this next slide in our presentation. So verifying all those activities, we have all the transactions and reports available there in our home screen. Now, for a general sense, different things that we need to do is on the cash side, do our bank statement processing. If we're doing fixed asset management, we need to post any asset additions, run our depreciation calculation, post that. So that's all part of those additional modules that you may or may not have depending on what you've licensed. Same with the multi-company. We need to process our consolidations, so all that can be added to our shortcuts in our month-end closing if those are pieces of functionality that apply to our business. So, and then of course from the general ledger sense, we need to generate any recurring journal entries that we have, any month-end adjusting entries, run our trial balance report, and generate our financial statements like our income statement, balance sheet, and all that. So the ones in the general ledger section are really applicable to everyone. So we do have them in our shortcuts right here. We can run our trial balance, look at a review journal for any unposted transactions. We can generate our financial reports right here. That would take us to, generate our income statement, P&L or balance sheets. You have all those different reports available here based on what you've defined for your financial reporting needs. So those would be generated there. And then, of course, one of the last activities there would be to close the period and maybe set the earliest apply date to the first day of the new month. So these would be those two actions right here in yellow. So to close our period, we would just go to the applicable period. So let's say I'm going to May 2021. We can see right there. All of them are open still in my system, so you can see that the action is just really to check the box there to consider that period closed. And you also have your earliest apply date. You can do it by transaction. So if you don't want to allow any transactions to be posted to those areas, before that particular date, you can specify it right here. So those would be the items on our checklist. Now, if we were doing a year-end closing, then there's a couple of different activities we would do. We would create the new fiscal year and generate the periods for that. We may also run the process to transfer any opening balances to the next year. We could process 1099s, and if we're doing fixed asset management at Epicor, we would post any asset impairments. If we're doing payroll, we could process W-2s and 940. And if we're reporting sales taxes annually, we would run our sales tax report and file our sales tax returns. So that's a little bit of a summary. So again, it's really more of an overarching process of activities we do. Our financial consultants will be there on the first month end to walk you through it, make sure that everything works as expected. And it's all a matter as well of making sure you have all those streamlined shortcuts for all those different reports and activities you need to do to complete all your month-end processing. So hope this is helpful, and let us know if you have any questions. Thank you.